This guy says the world's not ready for what's coming. Will Ray, aka the Tech Dad, let's jump in and see what he has to say.
If AI doesn't get any better than what it is right now, it's already causing major disruption. And I've been saying this for the last couple years, that this was going to be a very disruptive thing. And I don't know a whole lot about AI, just what I've seen and how I've used it. And I remember so many people gave me flack saying that it's overhyped and the bubble's about to burst. And then every month, every week, it seems like it's just getting better and better and better. And to the point that a lot of like the higher ups at these AI companies are talking about being scared. You know, we need to have safety precautions. It's going to disrupt jobs. It's going to do all these different things. And when I think about it, I'm like, when has the leader of a company spoke poorly about their product of like, this could disrupt humanity? Right? It's never been done before. And if it has, prove me wrong. Let me know in the comments.
He's right about that. Were you paying attention? Did you see this the other day? I think it was, I don't know if it was Sam Altman's OpenAI. It was one of those AIs, and they, I guess, told it to shut down, and it apparently rewrote its code and said, no, I'm not actually shutting down. Dude, that shit is wild. That is wild.
But I've never seen it. Right? And I've been around a few decades, and I've never seen nothing like that. So I think that the bubble's about to bust. We're about to hit the ceiling. I don't think that's the truth. And the other thing that's real scary is that when you start learning about these LLMs and the fact that the people making them don't even know how they work, right? And that's wild. That's so wild. I don't know. I think about that a lot. Like, people don't even know how it works. It's nuts.
There's a lot of things like that in the human experience, and this is one reason why I just step back. And I've told you this before. If there is one word that could sum up the entirety of the human experience, it would be oops. Our bad. I guess we didn't understand fully what was going down. No, you really didn't. This is why I'm super sketched out about all these people that are like, yeah, tested and approved, safe and effective. It's all good. Thumbs up. No problems. Okay. Right.
But with all that being said, the economy in the world's been messed up for a while now, right?
He's right.
It's been hard for people to pay for bills, to get by. I mean, that's what led me into tech, right? I was making pretty good money in the behavioral health field, and it wasn't enough, right? It was paying our bills. We were moving forward, but it wasn't enough, right? I was still struggling with a lot of different areas, which led me into upskilling, learning how to code, building my business, doing all these things, and still looking for other ways to make money, even now. And I just keep looking at where AI is getting injected, and it's everywhere. It's going to cause major disruptions, right? And I hear a lot of people talk about how the Industrial Revolution, when trains came, all these other things that disrupted and made people lose jobs, that they just went and found different jobs. And while that's true, right, that has happened, I don't think anything has ever came to the world that disrupts every industry at the same time, right? Minus probably trade jobs, which I'm actually looking at, like becoming an electrician or something, just to have a...
He makes a good point about the trade jobs. I think that's where it's at. I've considered that myself. Starting some kind of a trade job, because what's happened, and I'm just as, I'm just as caught up in this as other people. Is everyone jumped online and said, "Oh, I want an online business. I want to do this." Now, granted, having a talk show was a dream of mine for 25 plus years, right? I like this type of thing. I mean, I've been doing this since really, 2017 heavy. And then every few years, I ramp up and go deeper. I'll never stop doing it, but I have thought about that as far as diversification of income streams and multiple income streams, like he's talking about. I think everybody's looking real hard at that. Plumbers, electricians, builders, etc. That's pretty wild. Although their industries are being disrupted as well with, you've seen these digital printed houses. Well, not digital printed, but where they pour the little tube of a cement type thing. I mean, tech and AI is going to disrupt a lot of things. It's pretty wild. Let's continue.
Real good skill that's, I would say, safe to say AI proof, for a while until we start figuring out real good robotics and AI. Right. But like even the marketing, building websites. I mean, since I started learning how to build websites, like every time I get better, AI just surpasses me dramatically. Right. Right. And it's like I'm fighting an uphill battle and the hill keeps getting bigger, which is why I gave up on looking for a job as a software developer, entry level. Right. Like I put in 2,000 applications and nothing. I think I had 3 first round interviews.
Whoa.
2 of them wouldn't take me because I was in a coding boot camp, and the other one because I was an ex-con. And I kind of gave up on that and started my own business, which has done pretty well. It's not super steady. It's not super consistent, but it's done good. But I'm still looking at other avenues, and I'm always building more skills to that. But this AI stuff, man, I don't know. And I don't think anybody actually knows. And I don't know. These are just what I think. My thoughts. It's scary. It's real scary. Right?
It is scary. I mean, my thoughts on it are this. I don't want to play the AI game. It's just too weird. It's too... I don't want much more of my information out there. I'm already backing out, and I'm prepared to kind of live more like a off-grid type of, urban homestead type of a situation. I look at the bullshit that's gone down in the last handful of years, just the stupid shit, with COVID and with digital surveillance and all the stuff. And I don't want to play their game, and I'm gearing up to, do what I need to do to get as much out of the system as possible. I don't want to be involved with apps. I don't want to do, it's funny that I do the digital business, the digital content business, and sell digital products. One Life is my digital product. It's about how to know yourself, how to know your mission in life, and then do that mission every day. I think it's super vital right now that we do this, because this will pull you out of the beast system. This will pull all of us out of the beast system. No one is going to create a digital product that is not good for humanity if they're on their mission and their purpose. No, that's just not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. You're going to heal people. You're going to serve people. You're going to help them be more prosperous. You're going to do your work in the world. And it's never going to run counter to what humanity needs and what that person needs. It's wild. Let's continue.
The world's been hard enough for most people over the last couple of decades, right? It's not the same world that your mom and dad lived in. Your grandpa and grandma were like, just work harder, do this, do that. Well, back when you was a kid, minimum wage would pay for a family of 2, right? And now there's no way. Who could live on minimum wage at all? I don't even think you could pay rent with a month of minimum wage.
You couldn't.
But AI's, I don't know. I just had to get these thoughts out here because I've been researching more, looking at more stuff, watching new news articles. And I really like to know what you guys think. Right? What does other people think? Like, am I the only one, right, that really thinks like we're cooked? Like it's over. Like if it keeps on the track that it is right now, I mean, think about it. If we keep progressing with AI like it already has been over these last few years, I don't even know. I'm really thinking about reskilling again to more of something trade, right?
Yeah.
Just for security.
Yeah.
Because even marketing, I mean, with me running ads and doing marketing for some of my customers, like I'm using AI doing all of it. The websites, I'm using AI. Copywriting, I'm using AI. Design, I'm using AI.
You know, it's interesting that he says that. I haven't used it, and I don't plan to use it. Like I say, it sketches me out. I wish I could remember the quote. You probably heard it, but it was related to an artist. An artist made it, and they said, "I don't want AI to make my art. I want it to do the laundry, the dishes, the whatever, the mundane things, and so I can make art." And I really resonate with that. But then I start to think, I'm old school. I have a dishwasher. I have never ever used it. I just don't see the point. Like I said, I like washing dishes by hand, and it's just me, so it's simple. Some people freak out if I say that. They're like, "You don't have a dishwasher?" No, I don't. So for 20 plus years, I've been moving toward. I've embraced voluntary simplicity for a long time, and I've been in that mindset for a long time, and so I'm excited to go forward. And like I said, I will get off the train if AI goes and does what people think it's going to do. But yeah, it's interesting. He says that I don't use Grammarly. I don't use AI. I just think it's kind of weird.
Right. And I know I'm not the only one. I can't be. Sure, there's plenty of people out there like me. But how long till the agents can do a lot of it? Right? How long until they have an AI agent that's able to do everything you can online?
Yeah.
So I think that's where the key comes in, right? Is having skills that put you somewhere physically, which eliminates remote work, which is something that I really, really wanted because I wanted that freedom of movement.
Yeah.
But also, like, the way the landscape's changing, it doesn't matter. Eventually, I just want to make sure that I have a way to make income for my family. And then Google put out the electricians training thing where they're going to pay for a bunch of apprenticeships for electricians, which got me thinking, like, should I look into getting into a union as an electrician, right? I think you can work at data centers and lots of other things. But I don't want to fall behind, right? My life has already had a late start. You know, I'm getting by now, but I'm not where I want to be. I don't know. These are just my random thoughts. I thought I'd let you guys know. I really think we're cooked. I think if it progresses this way, it's over. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the comments.
Let's see what people are saying in the comments here. To all commenters saying trades are safe, we don't need another million plumbers or laborers. That's fair. I'm a machinist. Last year, my employer bought a new machine with a robotic arm that can run unsupervised, even measuring the parts. They're in the process of buying another one, but they assure us that no jobs are going to be lost. Yeah, right. That's interesting. As a writer, it's come from my job first. It exponentially gets better at a scary rate. People who think it's not coming for them are delusional. I agree. I think it's going to disrupt everything. And you know what? I kind of think that's the plan, to be honest. When my dad came out of high school, he could support himself and a wife. When I came out of high school in 1985, I made $370 an hour. Rent was $350 a month. I could support myself on beans and rice. Lived in city, didn't need a car. If I was to marry, she would need to work. My son, when he gets out of high school, minimum wage is less than $8. Rent is now $1,200 a month. He can't support himself. That's true. You know, it's wild. Who will be able to hire plumbers when people have no jobs? That's the key right there. This is what I try to try to tell people who are doing well right now that aren't really concerned with what's happening or that aren't vocalizing and resistance. Like, I'm not down with the government doing AI stuff. I'm not down with surveillance stuff. I want people to start resisting. And the way you resist is you just ignore the bastards. You do not comply with whatever they say, because clearly they're leading down a freaking scary, sketchy road. What I tell people is it doesn't matter where you're at on the spectrum. If many people experience what this guy experiences and he doesn't have work or doesn't be able to pay his family, he's not going to go to the dentist. He's not going to go to the doctor. He's not going to hire accountants or lawyers or whatever. It's going to affect everyone. We're all connected. This is why I feel it's an all hands on deck. At least look into this shit. Don't just walk by it. And don't poo-poo it, and don't think, I'm set, I've got $1 million as a nest egg. No one's set if this shit pops off and does what people think it's going to do. Artificial intelligence will destroy humanity. I agree. I'm a nurse, and since 2021, been warning others in medicine that our professions are at giant risk, but most do not and haven't listened. I also warned of impending massive inflation and obvious things, but they refused to prepare. Now, remember, Bill Gates recently said, I thought he said 10 years, maybe less, that AI will replace doctors. And you know what? I believe that shit. But again, it's going to disrupt a lot of industries. I'm sorry, Dave. I'm afraid I can't do that. Yeah, exactly. What is that? Odyssey, a space Odyssey, HAL 9000? Shizzle. I've literally told some people the same thing, and the fact that these people who make these AIs don't know how it works, and they not only didn't believe me, they actually tried to tell me exactly how it works. That's when I became certain that we are doomed. Too many people not only don't know enough about what's coming, but they also think they know more than they actually know and don't see this as a threat because they tell themselves it can never do what they do. And I've been watching it quickly. Son of a gun. It's wild. I'm just grateful I don't have kids. You know what? Amen to that comment. I can't even imagine. God bless the people that have kids. I don't think people are having kids as much anymore because they're like, this world is sketchy AF, but 5, 10, 15 years ago, people were like, yeah, everything looks good. Now you see these storm clouds proverbially coming across the horizon and like, son of a bitch, greed is evil. We will become obsolete very soon. Maybe. People are going to appreciate handmade things in the future more than ever, I think. Something to consider. That's actually probably not a bad idea, right? We were not meant to work. We were meant to live, okay? The problem is if everyone loses their job and goes running for the trades, it will devalue that work, as now you have millions more people. Same. Agreed. I totally agree. You know what I actually think, and we'll end it on that comment, but here's my prediction. I think we're going to go back to some of us are going to go back to like homesteading type situation where you configure and design your life so that you can be as self-sufficient as possible, growing your own food, making your own things, etc. I just see that as being the only way one of the ways people are going to survive if this shit goes south. I mean, let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Have an awesome day. I'll chat with you in the next one. Until next time, all the best, health, wealth, and success. Bye-bye.